Okay. Yep. I've almost forgotten how to do this. Ta-da! Almost tripped on the power cord. Auspicious start. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to the Sun Dragon Side Trip.
The Adventures of Liz and Rebecca. We're back!
Ta-da! I'm wearing my fancies. So I had to start standing to show off my fancies. You can't even see this one because it's,
And your shirt doesn't sparkle as much in the daylight.
Well, and I don't have the
light.
The bright lights of filming at home. Oh, didn't move this. Probably didn't make a difference. But
it's Tuesday morning or Monday.
It's our Monday, back. And we've been off for like a week and a half, so I don't remember how to do poop. So this is the faux fur. I have to show this off. So look, I can. I just did this. This will show off better if I'm wearing something else. All right. Hi, I'm Rebecca. I'm the owner. I almost forgot about that part too. I'm the owner of Sun Dragon Art and Fiber in weirdly cloudy, like it rained in town.
Yeah.
Brevard, North Carolina. It didn't rain today. At my house.
I'm the Minion there.
Okay. Hi. We took some time off. I'm gonna look at how my hair's fallen down since I got here. Whatever. Did you miss us? Did you miss me rambling about incoherent side things like, ooh, I noticed my hair looks weird today. I'm trying a different thing with my hair. It didn't work. It kind of worked, but then you put masks on and it pulls at it. And I have so much hair now. This is my random squirrel moment. I have so much hair now. I can't make nice buns out of it anymore.
Well,
I could if I learned how to do nice things with hair, but
But we should probably surf Pinterest for some of those, Victorian Brady,
Like I have time to do that in the morning? Are you kidding me? I mean, that would be awesome. I'm a fan of like historical fun things like that. Okay, because I watched over break. I watched Enola Holmes. I watched Bridgerton. I would have watched Emma if I could have gotten it on something that I have access to. Apparently, I have to subscribe for HBO Max to get it. Not gonna happen. So I watched all this period, because Bridgerton is Shondaland, so it was period with spiciness, with okay then, let's just watch this now. Okay, but yeah, it was like Jane Austen meets. I mean, I haven't seen what's the show with Kerry Washington? Scandal. I haven't, because there's scandals in it. I haven't seen that show, but I'm imagining the raciness of it. Yeah. It's Jane Austen, but stuff happens. Other than just, it still plays upon the, a woman must be her reputation can be tarnished if things happen. But then when people get married, or the guys can do whatever they want, Jane Austen never put that in her books. Okay, so I'm going to try to get back on track. Hello.
I watched Blood and Guts.
There you go.
Yeah.
I would expect that.
Yeah.
So, was there a specific Blood and Guts that you watched?
I started rewatching Game of Thrones, and
never watched.
Or you've never watched Game of Thrones? Yes, you have.
No, I haven't.
Really?
I've seen the clips that are on the news when they're talking about Game of Thrones.
Oh.
It's on HBO. I don't have HBO.
Oh.
And Brian could bootleg it for me, but no.
Yeah. Okay. And before that, I was watching Rome. It's another Blood and Guts, and
there's not a lot. There's not a lot of shows that I can really get into right now. Like, if there's violence, if there's really hard stuff in it, it's really hard for me to watch right now. It's like life is hard enough right now. Like, that's not escapism for me for some reason. Like, there's a lot of shows I've started to watch and I've just stopped. Brian and I, okay, those other shows I mentioned before were shows I watched on my own. And they're building out on the plaza. So if you can hear the banging, we apologize.
They started the day we left. This is a squirrel. And they took the same amount of time off that we did.
They've made no progress while we've been gone.
And,
yeah.
You know, we show back up and they're still.
They started, maybe they might have started like the day before we left, because the day we left was like a rainstorm and they weren't working. Yeah. But there have been dry days between Christmas and New Year's and they haven't been back. Anyway, the show that Brian and I got back on together and rewatched, because the second season's coming out soon and season 1 episodes were going to expire, is Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist. And that one was emotional and deep. I wasn't expecting that when the show first started. Like the first episode or 2, you're like, fluff, yay! Because there's music involved and singing and dancing and wee. And it got deep and emotional. And that was one I did watch, and I was very grateful to watch. Like, good catharsis from that one. You keep threatening to show me the video.
Yeah.
I didn't need it because I watched Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist. She keeps wanting me to get emotional and cry, to let out emotion. Some of that happened over break. Do I look more rested?
Yeah. Actually.
Oh my Lord. Okay. You're trying to be distracted by the boom, 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 boom. Anyway. No, Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist. If you love musicals, you will love the show. And if you don't love musicals, you still might like the show. Because it's kind of like, there's this really funny song from a parody of musicals that jokes about how musicals are when people get really emotional, they suddenly break into song. And this is not that, except it's like Zoe has, she has an accident, like there's an earthquake while she's in, it's either a CAT scan or an MRI, I'm not sure which. And that's reminding me I need to put a new message on the phone. Anyway, and they're trying to play calming music while she's in the MRI machine. I think it's an MRI machine. And the earthquake means like all these songs get like stuck in her brain, and suddenly she can hear people's innermost thoughts. They sing them to her through random songs. And it sounds weird, but it's really cool because they pick these super awesome songs that you don't realize would have the meaning they do when someone sings them, not the way you hear them on the radio. And people dance and stuff, but for the most part, it's all, she's the only one who can see it. So it's kind of cool because it's not like, well, people are randomly singing and that's dumb. It's like, ooh, this is something that she is seeing or getting a vibe off of. Anyway, I had a lot of fun with it. It was cool. And now season 2 is coming out, and I get to, I have to wait and watch it week by week, which will be fun. I will space out my enjoyment. But let's turn to the thing people actually tuned in to watch, which is us talking about our knitting and crocheting.
What?
So this was my big accomplishment of, I have not blocked it yet, but I sewed my ends in, so good for me, right? This was my big accomplishment of the break. I finished my Calliope. You cannot, there's ribbing from here to here, which you can't see because of the quality of our filming. And there's ribbing from here to here, which again, you can't see because of the quality of the filming. And it's all shiny. Look, yeah, that kind of shines, sparkles. It's all sparkly. Both yarns in it are sparkly. I'm so excited. I need to get this kit up online. We have lots of other kits for the Calliope, but Espace Tricot. It was fun when I actually like buckled down and worked on it. I have my sparkly top. I think Brian actually said I look good in black over break, but he's going to be nice and say I look good in anything. So, I will say that like I started to lose the will to live on the sleeves. So I might have ended them a little early.
I was looking going, that doesn't look like 9 inches.
I didn't say it was 9 inches. I'm supposed to do it for 9 inches. Should we test? Should I find
we could. When I'm looking at it here, it looks.
It shrank up.
I
didn't block.
It looked like it was 9 inches when you. 7.
Shush.
6.
Wait, no,
7.
you're pulling.
I'm not.
Ah!
I'm not doing anything. I was just holding it
I
straight.
just gave up on the will to live. Yeah, 7 instead of 9. I'm not necessarily happy with how I bound this off. I used Jenny's surprisingly stretchy bind off, and it flares. I still have tons of yarn left, so I used the Jenny's surprisingly stretchy bind off on the bottom here, and I like that. That's nice. Here, I'm not so sure. So I've sewn the ends in, but I could rip it out and I could make the sleeves longer. Or I could just block it longer. Or, honestly, it's such a toasty sweater. I'm going to be pulling my sleeves up like this. Most of the time I wear this. So I don't know if I need it to be, I have other sleeves that are super long. I don't know if I want these sleeves to be super long. I'm rambling. That's okay.
We've discussed this at length several times.
Yeah, but this part was 7 inches, I'm pretty sure. And then this, oh my gosh, 9 inches of knit 2, purl 1 ribbing. I was gonna die. Metaphorically.
There are ways to fix that. You decide on shallower cuffs.
Which I did.
No. Not going from 7 to or 9 to 7. I mean, going from like 9 to 3. Like,
yeah, but
shallower cuffs.
But I was trying to be as true to the pattern as I could without metaphorically losing the will to live. So, yeah. What did you do over a break? I have other things to show off, but we should be fair.
I was schizophrenic for the first like 4 days.
It's not a thing.
No, I knit 3 hats.
Good.
I
finished stuff too.
Started a crochet shawl that I got lost in the somewhere. There's an extra, shouldn't be there.
Okay.
And I can't find out where it is. And then I was like, I guess I should, work on some pre-existing stuff. So I pulled 4 Papillons out of the bag, and I did a row on each of them and dropped 2. Like, went, okay, I'm just going to focus on 2.
Okay.
And so
are those the 2 that are on the table right now?
Let me just back this out a second.
While she's backing that out, I finished Christmas knitting for family we had to drive to, who are in our bubble, by the way. I finished Christmas knitting for people in our bubble a couple days after Christmas, but we didn't see them till Monday. I think I said that on the New Year's episode. And then I finished Brian's gloves like before we went out to them on Monday too. So I got my Christmas knitting done before Monday. And I worked on various, I was like, I'm going to finish so much stuff this break. I finished a sweater.
I looked last night. I was like, how am I only this far? Like when a
week and a half isn't that long.
No, especially when you're schizophrenic and don't know what you want to do beforehand.
And we're exhausted and needed a lot of sleep, which I don't even know if that happened. But
no. I mean, and there were other life issues. Like
stuff happened. Life.
I turned my heat on. It didn't. Yeah. So
we got a pretty stove yesterday.
Yeah, we now have a wood stove
that's almost functional.
Yeah, we have to have the chimney cleaned before we.
Well,
but we'll have heat soon.
But see, Liz likes to have her house at sub-zero temperatures anyway. So it wasn't like if the heat stopped working at my house.
Yeah, no, the house stayed between 58 and 60, depending on how much we ran the little space heaters. Like, and there were days we didn't even need.
Which is actually fine for her.
Yeah, it was fine. So there was that.
My house is at 65 in the middle of the day, and I'm like, who forgot to turn the heat up? I'm cold. Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
Put a sweater
on. I'm on camera. I can't give you fingers.
I know. So when I started this one, I had just finished row section 17.
Okay.
Like I was in.
You were down further.
I was like in here.
That one's so pretty. That's like this, dark and broody.
Dark and broody. Oh. So this one, I'm about to start the row 5 on section 27. So I've done
a lot.
This one, these are the two that I settled on. So my handspun and my dark
Well,
and gray.
and that one was one you had just started not too long.
I was on
break.
row 18 when I
yes, but
picked
I'm
it up
talking
for
about
break.
when you started
Yes.
it. That is your most recent
Yes.
start. And so you are much further along, maybe going to finish it before a lot of others.
So
That's awesome.
this one I was on row 18, so I was one row further on this than the other one.
Look how pretty that is.
But
and that's the contrast is from the shop, but the
yes.
Main color is hand spun.
Yes. So I wound up doing the Pokemon balls and the pods reversed like I do on this one for the last section, just because I am terribly worried about running out of my main color. And I don't have any more. Like, I bought it, I spun it, and you know, well, maybe, I have two more little balls.
Maybe
but
you have a fun ending to it that's something else entirely.
And so out of all four colors that are in these, the only color that I can actually get is the black. Like
they may both end in black.
I mean, I can,
you bogarted the teal from my shop. I mean, I could order you more of that.
I know, but it would be a different dialogue, which may or may not matter. But you know, the oxygen and the worsted, I bought 4 skeins of like
2 years ago.
Yeah, when we had it. This I spun, and I have 2 little twists left, but I want to make it eats up pretty fast. So so I inverted the Pokemon balls. Just for that row, it'll look cool. It'll look stripey, pop, stripey. So, and I didn't put
maybe
the
a little woo at the end with something else entirely.
Yeah, I was thinking, what am I going to woo at the end? But I don't know. It needs like a raspberry, or I don't know. I'll have to go look at the fluff and stuff.
It'll be cool.
Yeah.
Regardless, it'll be cool.
So that's.
And I have made no. I left my Papillon here, and my Papillon does not look nearly as cool as yours. So you know, what I did work on, and I'm starting to lose the will to live on this because I'm past the fun stuff. I did work on my sorrel sweater. And this has some weird holes in it, but I got past the fun part of this. Look, I separated the sleeves out.
Ooh.
And we went hiking 2 hours away from where we live, so I got a lot of this knitting down here done. Let me show you. Da, da, da. See, some are longer than others. Isn't that pretty? You can't see the true awesome greenness with the quality of our filming. Yay! But the cool part is once you get a little past the little dippy parts of this, and actually it was when you start doing the short rows. You do the short rows after all of these charts, and see, they're more visible on one side than the other. You may not be able to see them at all. This side is a little more visible. At the short row section, you start going back and forth, not across the whole row, hence the name short rows. And then you turn it around. They say turn inside out. I haven't actually turned this. Look, the outside is still facing you, but I'm knitting with the inside facing me. That makes sense, because I'm knitting. The purls, it's reverse stockinette is the fancy language. The purls are showing on the outside, but I am knitting from this point on. So I would hold like this.
Which is like
and knit.
Much more preferable than.
Of course, for you. I mean, purling's not that bad, but it tends to go. Yeah, it tends to go a little faster when you knit. So I was trying to explain that to Brian, and he was like, okay. Because to him, it's just stitching. What? Aren't they all the same? There's a little more motion, especially if you do Norwegian purl, but there's a little more motion that goes into a purl. This is based off a Church Mouse Yarns pattern. So like one skein, just knitting in a circle, get you this. 2 skeins. This is a Church Mouse Yarns pattern that it was for a scarf, but then I sewed the ends together so it became an infinity scarf I could wrap around. It was, I started with the red. I actually did, you cast on 13, knit a row, purl a row. I tried knitting every row, and I like the look of it. Stockinette, which is knit a row, purl a row, better than just knitting every row.
If it was wider, it might not.
Well, I started making it wider. It does curl a little bit. It's okay. I was like, no, I don't want to do 13. I want to do 15 stitches. And then I ripped it back out. I was like, let me just see what happens with the pattern. And it's huge, man. It was basically, you go until one skein is done, and then you start knitting with the other color, and you go until that skein is done. And it's supposed to be a scarf, but I sewed the ends together.
I meant wider, like twice as wide, not like a couple stitches wide.
Oh, so like 20. Yeah, it would be much shorter.
Well, like, no, I know it would be much shorter, but if you did 3 or 4 bows like that wide for your cowl deep,
oh yeah,
it would, knitting would, you know.
Anyway, this was fun, and I love these two colors together. And maybe I'll wear them with something that's not black, so you can really see the colors of them. I thought it'd be all elegant to wear these together, and I'm like, you just can't even see this.
It is just not on camera.
Let me show you a couple other things I did, and then we're waiting for the post lady to come, because we packed up
20
at least for mailing 21 packages, and so we have to apologize profusely for dumping 20 packages on her. But now we're shipping from the shop, so we're printing labels and saying take them, and so I don't have to go to the post office, hopefully. So our big test was yesterday.
Nice.
All right, so let me see what else I worked on. I mean, I worked a little bit on my fingerless gloves for myself, and a little bit on the honey moss. Not enough to show you any progress, really.
Ooh.
I'm almost through. See,
yeah.
I'm almost through the 4th color of the 4 colors I'm using for this crocheted Nessie shawl. So I think if you're binge watching these, you'll see a difference.
I do, because you were on the light blue.
Yeah, I'd done a picture. Huh?
I said, I'm trying not to lose your knot.
Oh, it's fine if it pulls out. It pulls out. That's the thing with crochet, you can recover.
It looks so pretty.
These are equal. The light gray and the blue are the same amount of yardage, but the rows are getting so ridiculously long now. And then now I'm in the dark gray, and I'm almost done with it. It's going to be narrower than the blue. I'm going to show you guys, take a look at some of the detail. It's so much fun, but oh my gosh, the rows are taking so long.
When it's blocked, oh my gosh, it's gonna sing.
I'm on like the 3rd repeat of the 20-something rows. So what happened?
I lost a stitch marker.
We'll find it. Oh, there it is.
The dangers of flick. Ooh, no.
Okay, so I was like, I need to make progress on something crochet. So I made some progress on that. I am crocheting with a D hook, by the way. So small, I have to hold it in front of my face so you can see it. Yay. Okay. And then I was like, oh, wait, because this sweater was the sweater that was the closest to being done when our break started. So I was like, I gotta work on that, focus on that, because it's the closest to being done. And then the next one I started on is the second closest to being done. So I said, there's a project that it has been in timeout for forever, and I should finish it. I haven't quite finished it, but I've almost finished it, because I cord bind off.
Takes a while.
On 240 stitches, but I'm almost done with my night shift.
It's so pretty.
Finally, look, I finally have the stitches that are left to bind off actually fit on my needle. But this, here, hold that. My night shift. Look,
yay! It looks so cool.
And the pattern stopped like right about here. But I kept going because I had yarn left. I had a lot of yarn
and
left.
It's just snuggly. The bigger it is, it's snuggly.
I still have yarn left. I could have kept going, but I finally hit my losing the will to live on this. I mean, I lost the will to live on it, so that's why it was in timeout for so long. And I was trying to not overthink it when I started the bind off and the colors were actually really close to each other. Because okay, these colors in here are the colors I was doing in the end section. I'm like, they're so different than each other. The great contrast, they'll be a great bind off. And then by the time I got to the bind off, they were almost the same color. I was like, but I'm trying not to overthink it. The whole point with the night shift is you let what happens happen. I mean, you can manipulate the color, but that's a lot of work. So I already have so many ends to weave in. So I was like, I need to keep going and use up the yarn. And I'm like, why? Why? That's what she's been saying for months. Why? So, hang on. These are the two colors. See, they're really different down here, but that's there's a ways away from where they're actually working on the shawl, right? This is hopefully the color. There's a pink in here. It'd be really great if I got to this like raspberry pink, but I'm probably not. But that's okay. Letting go.
It's really, really hard for her to let go.
Mm-hmm. There are 6 colors in this shawl, so I still have all this left. But like it was starting to eat up. Like this was as big as the other ones when I used it on the last section. Yeah. And I could have kept going. There's stuff in here I could have done. But I'm trying to let go and say, you know what? There's other stuff to work on. It's already bigger than the pattern calls for. So I'm finishing this off and I'm very proud of myself. And maybe the leftovers can go into Minion Bags of Mystery or something. We some people bought some kits for this or the shift over break, which is wonderful. I will caution anyone who's getting kits that, you know, we took pictures and then each skein of this yarn is radically different and different dye lots are super different. So what you get may or may not look like what's online, either due to my photography skills, which back then we're still learning a lot of stuff.
The idea of it is all the same.
Yeah.
The finished product is a little bit different.
This is a classic. This pattern has been out for a really long time and it continues to be popular because it's awesome. It's got slip stitches in it. All of this variety comes with slip stitches. You're only using one color at a time and it's awesome. The shawl recommends 6 colors and that's the kits we've put together. They're written for 6 colors of less yardage or spin cycle, which is 50 grams, and our feeder brook, which is lovely, is 100 grams, which is why I could just keep going and going and going. The shift cowl is only for 3. You could buy the shift cowl and try to make a night shift. You'd be playing some yarn chicken, but you might be able to make it work. And instead of 6 colors, use 3. But this is so pretty.
Oh my gosh, the whole thing with the night shift, the shift along there are a billion shifts, is you want big contrast in your colors.
And some of this doesn't have the contrast, but that I just let it happen. But yeah, you want the more contrast, the better. If you pick coordinating colors, you might as well just do her find your fate.
It almost loses.
You should do something else. Yeah. I'm really excited that this is almost done. And leftovers can go into something else that y'all can buy from us. And then I think that's all I wanted to show off because everything else I did not make tangible progress on. I thought I was going to finish like 10 projects this vacation.
At one point I was like, ooh, if I can do like 3 rows on each papillon in one day, I could be done with these. And there were days it took all of every bit of willpower I had to get 1 or 2 rows on each papillon done, just because, you know.
And I've sped up. I noticeably know my knitting is faster now. And because my Christmas presents, holy crap, some of them went so fast.
I've sped up too, just between life getting in the way.
Yeah.
I slept in a few days.
Brian was still working, so I didn't really sleep in. But naps happened at times. And then I went hiking one day.
You even pulled a couple of all-dayers.
I did. I pulled several all-dayers. And Probably wasn't smart of me, but I didn't feel like napping. So, and when I talked to my sister before break, she's like, "What are you gonna do on break?" I said, "I'm gonna sleep and I'm gonna knit." She's like, "You're gonna knit?" I said, "Yes. We don't get time to knit when the shop is open." And I actually do like knitting. I don't need a break from it. It helps stabilize me. I know I'm really beyond the pale, crazy stressed out when I can't knit. That
Yeah.
means something is really wrong. And knitting sometimes helps stabilize me if I'm not off the deep end. I'm only off the deep end like once this week.
It makes you feel productive when you're not doing anything. Like when you're sitting on the couch watching TV and you're knitting, you're not exactly just sitting on the couch doing nothing.
Yeah.
So,
Actually, if I sit on the couch and do nothing, I get twitchy.
yeah. Yeah.
So it's ingrained in me now. If I'm just sitting, I need to be doing something with my hands.
You have time to sit, you have time to knit or crochet. Like
Oh man. Okay. Well, we haven't seen the mail lady yet, but we should get ready for her. And I mean, we could keep talking about things, but I think maybe we should get ready for.
we have a busy day.
Yeah.
We have
do.
appointments and we have mailings and we have
We
windings.
didn't finish all the orders, and some came in yesterday.
And we have yesterday and we have winding and we have putting away yarn that sat in quarantine for a week and a half.
Yay, we're back! Aren't you happy? Oh, we have knit night tonight, by the way.
We do have knit night tonight, by the way.
So on Zoom, we'll see if I remember how to work Zoom. From 6 to 9 p.m. if you use the shop
Eastern.
phone number. Maybe I just hadn't gotten around to that yet.
Mm-hmm.
Use the shop phone number. It is, I gotta remember the shop phone number, 828-877-3550. I did do a social media post with that this morning, so it's not like I totally forgot it. But be patient with us. We're getting back in the swing of things. Yeah. I'll let you in from the
VSC.
Tomorrow's the VSC. I'm not sure what we're going to try to sell you, but we're going to try to sell you something. We're going to go back to having products on sale for 15% off because the whole shop was on sale for 20% off while we were gone. We're going to have select things on sale for 15% off and maybe get some new stuff up on the site. Vacation was a time for me to realize there's older stuff on our online shop that I need to update. And because the pictures are either not good because I took them from yarn companies instead of taking them myself, or there aren't enough pictures to reflect the yarn. So
and
believe
you
it or
discovered
not,
some things that you didn't think were online were actually online.
Yeah, it's true. Like our cashmere. Believe it or not, the things that yarn companies put out online are not always accurate color-wise. They might look very pretty, but they might look nothing like the actual product, whether it's different dye lots and they never updated their photos, or their photos are just poop.
Yeah.
It happens. That's why we order yarn. Like, that's why it's so valuable to have reps come visit us with hopefully real versions of things to look at. But COVID, so no. So we're taking some risks with ordering stuff online right now. And sometimes we have huge successes with what we bring in is what we think. And sometimes it's totally different. Like this stuff, some of it is not what it looked like online, but we're still happy because, oh my gosh, it's so awesome. I went hiking over break and it was cold and windy on New Year's Day. And for the first half hour or so before I got acclimated to being outdoors in the cold wind, this was a lifesaver. Super cheap for our shop, I think, yarn at like 11 or so bucks a skein, one skein. So warm.
But to do a great big cowl like that, it's fantastic.
And I am going to be making a couple more because I can't just have gray. I need different fun colors.
She needs to choose a color for the day.
Look for more cowls for me to be fashioning more cowls in the fun colors that we have.
I'm still thinking about my cape, which is going to kind of not matchy that, but
no, it's not. Which is why I wasn't going to make this if it was going to be matchy. I would have picked something else. I wouldn't have stolen your thunder. I promise.
It's okay. I don't care. Red and black are my colors anyway.
I
so,
know, but yeah,
Oh,
I can do dark and birdie too. What? What?
I was
What?
just thinking there we have some people who would like those colors because they kind of go with their school colors or whatever.
Okay.
We don't pick colors based on school.
But people think
colors,
we do. It's weird.
Yeah.
Because I don't know. Technically, these are my school colors, but my school doesn't care about colors, so I don't know. Anyway, Thursday, so we're back at it with our filming schedule. Thursday will be Dear Becky and Lizzy, and I don't think we have, well, we have, I got one email that was maybe a suggestion for Dear Becky and Lizzy, which we can talk about on Thursday. But at this point, because the post office is still trying to recover from the holidays, you probably want to email liz@sundragonartandfiber.com. And if you emailed Liz about anything other than Dear Becky and Lizzy, we're sorry we haven't replied to you, but
I haven't gotten any.
Okay, I was gonna say that's not don't email her if you want to reply about something other than the Dear Becky and Lizzy. You can, but it's gonna take a while.
You can, but I don't check my email very often. So
either Rebecca@sundragonartandfiber.com or info@sundragonartandfiber.com should get shot to me. And I've been trying to reply to everything as it comes in on break. I bet I'm gonna have to go back and look through some of them because some of them had to do with things I would have to see here at the shop. And I said, I'll check it when I can. So I'm gonna do my best this week to reply to those. It's gonna take a while. Please be patient. Bug me again if you don't hear from me because we're doing the best we can. So we tried to take as much of a break as we could. It was really hard.
It's with the online shop and the filming and the working in the shop, helping people inside, outside, upside down. It's the equivalent of we're doing the jobs of like 6 people.
Which is why we just took a week and a half off, and we'll see how long any rest we manage to pick up during that week and a half remains. You guys can let us know when we start to look just as tired as before.
That's true.
Yeah. Okay. I said we were going to go like 5 minutes ago.
Friday.
What?
Friday will be knit night again.
Yeah, I wasn't actually.
So, I just always.
I know we should be doing the whole schedule, and I was kind of more haphazardly doing the schedule.
Yeah.
But Friday's another knit night. The next Saturday knit afternoon that we have is not for a few weeks. It's towards the end. It's like January. But don't have my phone here. It's like the second to last weekend. I think that's what we're going to do. Not the last weekend of the month, but the second to last weekend of the month. We're giving ourselves a little more time. It's not 4 weeks after the last one because January is a long month. We're letting it go till then. It's probably in the 20 somethings. It's on Facebook if you want to check the date. So, and I'm sure we'll say it here again once we figure it out. Anyway, we're happy to be back. We missed you all. And we heard that you guys missed us too. Our little side-by-side from home racked up a lot of views very quickly. But please, subscribe if you haven't already. Give us a thumbs up. We got a lot of thumbs up on that episode.
We were at 441, so we're getting closer. Not like,
we told you guys we're gonna do a sale when we hit 500.
Yeah.
We got work to do to get to 500. But share this with people you think would enjoy it, or maybe even if they don't, you might be surprised if you think they're not going to enjoy it. We have husbands and spouses who aren't knitters who thoroughly enjoy watching us rant about random things. So, and they're probably vicariously learning a few things about knitting and crocheting. So
yeah.
So okay, I said we were going to go like 10 minutes ago, so we're going to go now. Bye. We'll see you tomorrow, though. Isn't that exciting? After not seeing us for so long, you get to see us again tomorrow. Okay, bye.
Bye. Oh, look, I finished the row.
Woohoo! Kismet, good timing. Here we go. Bye.